If you've been scrolling through endless launch monitor listings, watching video after video and still can't decide which one actually makes sense for your game, this review is here to clear that up. I know the feeling, spending an hour comparing specs, trying to picture how each device would fit in your garage or basement, and worrying that you'll end up with a pricey piece of tech that never gets used. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In the next few minutes I'm going to walk through what the Bushnell Golf Launch Pro Circle B Edition really does in everyday practice, where it shines, and where it might leave you wishing for something else. First off, let's talk about why a launch monitor matters at all. For most golfers, the biggest barrier to improvement isn't lack of talent, it's lack of data. Hitting a ball and guessing whether you're faster, higher, or more consistent isn't enough to make measurable progress. A launch monitor gives you the numbers you need: club speed, ball speed, launch angle, spin, and carry distance, so you can see exactly what's happening on each swing. The challenge is finding a device that delivers those numbers accurately without turning your living room into a high-tech lab. That's where the Bushnell Launch Pro's camera-based measurement system comes into play. Instead of relying on radar, which can struggle in a tight indoor space, the Launch Pro uses a high-speed camera positioned behind the hitting area to capture both the club head and the ball as they move. In practice, that means you can set it up on a simple table, place a hitting mat, and get reliable data whether you're in a sunny backyard or a dimly lit basement. The ready out-of-the-box promise isn't just marketing fluff. The device ships calibrated. You plug it into the included power adapter, launch the companion app, and you're ready to swing. No need for a week-long calibration routine or a separate tripod. Now, let's picture a typical use case. Imagine you're a weekend golfer who can only practice on a Tuesday night after work. You pull the mat out on your garage floor, set the Launch Pro a few feet away, and launch a few drives. Instantly the app shows you club speed at 93 miles per hour, ball speed at 138 miles per hour, launch angle at 12, and spin rate at 2,400 revolutions per minute. You notice your launch angle is consistently low, so you adjust your tee height and see the angle climb to 14, which translates into an extra 12 yards of carry. Over a few sessions you can track that trend and know exactly what small tweak is moving the needle. That level of feedback is what the Launch Pro is built for, and it works the same way for a short game practice session. You get club head path and face angle data that helps you dial in a consistent wedge strike. A real strength of the Circle B Edition is the link-enabled club recommendations. After a series of swings, the app suggests which clubs in your bag are delivering the best performance for specific distances. For a golfer who's still figuring out which driver or iron to trust, that kind of guidance can be a game changer. It's essentially a coach that looks at hard data and tells you, your 5-iron is giving you the most predictable distance, maybe stick with that for approach shots. It's not a substitute for professional instruction, but it adds a layer of insight that many entry-level monitors simply don't provide. On the downside, the Launch Pro does have a few practical trade-offs. Because it relies on a camera, you need enough lighting for the sensor to see the ball clearly. In bright midday sun, especially if you're outdoors without a shade structure, the camera can get washed out and the data may wobble. The solution is simple: position the unit under a modest shelter or use a portable LED light if you're indoors, but it's an extra step that some users overlook. Another limitation is that the system captures only the initial launch metrics. It doesn't generate a full flight simulation or project a virtual course. If you were hoping to tee off on a digital replica of Pebble Beach while sipping coffee, you'll need a more expensive simulator. The Launch Pro's focus is on raw numbers, not visual immersion. Space constraints are another factor. The camera sits a few inches behind the hitting mat, so you need a clear line of sight from the device to the ball's trajectory. That translates to a minimum of about 10 feet of depth in your practice area, plus enough ceiling height to swing a driver comfortably. For people living in apartments with